It begins with the night. Gotham's always been resistant to sleep, but tonight the air is sharper impatience ripples from the alleys to the rooftops. Batman stands silent on a ledge, cape trailing along the slick stone, surveying his city. He's seen crime in all forms: petty thieves, costumed megalomaniacs, masked grotesques, but nothing prepares him for tonight's arrival. A siren warbles oddly, then is gone. Something isn't right. Batman's head turns just as a streak of blue slams down at the intersection. The figure is bulky, armored a uniform out of place, blunted by decades of uncompromising violence. The name on the badge is simple: Dredd. He comes from somewhere else. Agosity 1, to be precise. A supposed future, but darker, more orderly than anything Gotham has suffered. He hasn't come by accident. Reality's tapestry, always fragile, sometimes tears tonight. A criminal called the Razor escaped a failed extradition and ran straight through the dimensional cracks. Dredd follows not out of malice, but mandate. The law cannot be denied. That's what he believes, right down to the marrow. The first meeting isn't a fight, it's a collision. Dredd, efficient and cold, flashes his credentials at a bewildered GCPD detective, who glances up to where Batman looms on a gargoyle. Two apex predators regard one another. One is masked justice, molded by tragedy. The other is the law, as hammer, enforced with the judge's finality. The problem is, Gotham's order is brittle, rooted more in fear than in law. Batman understands the criminals where they hide, how they think. Dredd operates on only one axis: guilt or innocence. The Razor is guilty. If Batman shelters him for even a second, he is too. Word travels fast. Razor is hiding now, more terrified than ever. He knows about Batman, but Dredd he'd heard legends whispered in the cells of blockhouses. A lawman who is also jury and executioner. No catch and release. It's a death sentence printed before your trial begins. Batman decides to intervene. Not because he owes the Razor anything, but because Gotham is his city. Outsiders, especially ones with guns and unwavering authority, are not welcome. Their next meeting is on the roof of the Monarch Theater. Batman drops from the shadows. Dredd turns impassively, hand on his lawgiver. Warnings are exchanged gruff, measured. Dredd says what he always says: obstruction of a judge is a crime. Stand aside. Batman simply asks him to leave. That's never going to happen. Gotham's skyline is their arena. It's not a matter of good versus evil, but something deeper: methods, ideals. Even the criminals down below sense the shift, something elemental and ancient. It begins with restraint. Batman's gadgets smoke, flashbangs, stealth are impressive, but Dredd isn't impressed. His helmet is shielded, his vision augmented, and his response is brutal and practiced. A batarang glances off the armor. A rubber slug from the lawgiver cracks the brick beside Batman's head, but Batman isn't trying to win. He's testing, analyzing. Dredd, though, is always moving forward. No hesitation, no ambiguity. What is the point in this caped man's mercy? Is it sentiment or strategy? The fight unfolds across the city, a silent duel in the dark. Dredd hunts Razor, never slowing, never second-guessing. Batman interferes. Every move he makes is intended to limit destruction, to buy just a little time. To keep his city from the clutches of an alien justice that leaves no room for hope. The turning point is surprising. Razor, desperate, takes hostages in an abandoned subway. Dredd breaches, gun drawn, voice of commandment. Batman arrives a second later, silent as breath. Instead of fighting, Batman negotiates. He knows Razor's desperation, in the language of criminals terrified beyond reason. Dredd waits 3 minutes, that's all he allows. Eyes. If Batman cannot defuse the situation, Dredd finishes it his way. But Batman succeeds. He talks Razor down, cuffs him, and hands him over on Gotham's terms. Dredd is impassive, but there's a flicker and infinitesimal respect. Perhaps it's the result that matters, he considers. Perhaps mercy is just another form of justice. But Dredd's way is Dredd's way. He reads Razor his sentence. Batman watches, always vigilant, always prepared to step in if that sentence goes too far. For now, disaster is averted. The two shake hands, grudgingly. For a moment, Batman's Gotham and Dredd's megacity coexist. But it's a truce, not a partnership, and they both know it can't last. Because justice comes in many forms. Sometimes, the only thing that keeps the line from breaking is someone who stands alone in the dark, no matter what city they call their own.